It is Thursday, September 11th, and today marks 24 years since the terror attacks in New York, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania. You're taking a live look now at the New York City skyline with a distant look at Freedom Tower. Today, we remember the nearly 3,000 lives taken in those terror attacks and all of the lives impacted since that day in 2001. Memorials for the victims of 9/11 will be held across Kentucky today. Fort Knox and the Kentucky Department of Veterans Affairs will start ceremonies this morning just after 8 and at the Kentucky Veterans Cemetery in Radcliffe. Here in Louisville, the fire department and Mayor Craig Greenberg will hold a memorial this morning at 9 at LFD headquarters. And at the same time, Jeffersontown Fire and EMS will hold a memorial at the fire station there.
And in that spirit of remembrance, we do say good morning to you, Kentuckiana. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday, September 11th. I'm Jim Stratman.
And I'm Grace McKenna. We're glad you're joining us here as we start to round out the end of our work week. Matt, looking ahead to a weekend that is certainly going to be hot and warm for all of the things happening across Kentucky.
That's right. Summer's not over just yet. You know, we're in the final days of summer and we're still having those reminders that it is still around. Temperatures are off to a mild start this morning at 63 degrees here in Louisville, 61 Bowman Field, winds out of the southeast at 3 miles per hour. The rest of us seeing temperatures ranging in between the upper 50s and lower 60s. 58 Bedford, 59 in Elizabethtown, 63 here in Louisville, 60 for you folks near LaGrange. Satellite and radar continues to stay quiet and dry this morning. As we go later on into the morning hours, you can still expect this pattern to stick around with us. We've got just a few passing clouds, but a very sunny trend continuing with us. Mostly clear skies around 4. You're hopping on the school bus here soon with temperatures into the lower 60s. Later this afternoon, we'll be warming up steadily into the mid to upper 80s with plenty of sunshine. It's going to be a fairly sunny afternoon with us with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s into the evening hours. We do stay quiet and dry. That trend lasts throughout to the overnight hours, and we'll start tomorrow morning off with another round of sunshine with temperatures into the 60s. We've got more warm air headed our direction. We'll have all the details about your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few short minutes. Here's an update on traffic. So far, everything's moving along just fine on all of our major interstates into and out of the Louisville Metro. If we have anything that's slowing us down this morning, we'll have it for you right here on Good Morning Kentuckiana. Jim, Grace?
Matt, thank you very much. New this morning, the manhunt for the man who shot and killed conservative activist Charlie Kirk is still ongoing. Kirk was taking questions from students at Utah Valley University about mass shootings in America when he was shot. The Utah Department of Public Safety initially took 2 people into custody, but later released them. Officials are still looking for a motive behind that shooting. According to ABC News, Utah Republican Governor Spencer Cox has now called this a political assassination. As of this morning, authorities still have not identified any suspects. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear posted yesterday on social media saying, quote, "I strongly condemn the senseless attack on Charlie Kirk today. Political violence has no place in the United States of America. It further tears our country apart and it sets us back versus moving us forward. Violence is always wrong, period," end quote. Governor Beshear also directed flags to be at state offices to be lowered to half-staff until sunset on Sunday, September 14th, out of respect for Charlie Kirk.
And a Colorado high school student who police say opened fire at his school Wednesday has died. Officials say the shooting happened at around 12:20 at Evergreen High School in Evergreen, Colorado. 3 students were taken to the hospital, one of them the suspect who had shot himself. Authorities confirmed in a post on social media last night that the suspect had died. According to ABC News, one of the student victims is still in critical condition and the other is expected to survive.
And this morning, Jefferson County is saying goodbye to a longtime county clerk, Bobby Holsclaw.
The clerk's office said she died Wednesday at home and surrounded by family. WHAS11's Jose Alonso spoke with Kentucky leaders who say Holsclaw went beyond her elected position. And we are working to get you that story here shortly, talking about the long, long legacy of Bobby Holsclaw.
Nearly 20 years in that same office, won numerous elections and served the community for the better part of 2 decades. Bobby Holsclaw will be remembered as well. I know Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg is going to be responsible for appointing her successor until the next election cycle comes around.
Some other news this morning. A man is dead after being shot in Old Louisville. Police say it happened near the intersection of West Oak Street and South 3rd Street just after 6:40 last night. LMPD says the victim died at the scene. If anyone has information about that case, you can call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD.
And 4 people have now been arrested in connection to the shooting on July 5th in Jeffersonville, Indiana. This happened near Washington Way, near Presidential Place. Court documents say that 28-year-old William Brown was shot and then crashed his car into a tree while trying to flee from 22-year-old Zachary Jackson. Jackson has been arrested and charged with attempted murder and theft, among other charges. Brown did survive that shooting and that crash. Now 4 more people have been arrested in this case. Brianna Price Wilkerson was arrested and charged with theft. Kimberly Anderson was arrested and charged with false informing. Taria Gillum and Christian Price were also arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit murder.
Happening today, a hotly contested debate about school funding is heading to the Commonwealth's highest court. The Kentucky Supreme Court will hear oral arguments about the constitutionality of funding charter schools in Kentucky.
House Bill 9 was passed back in 2022, and since then it has been held up in the court system. The bill would essentially establish a funding mechanism for charter schools that would require the creation of 2 charter schools here in the Commonwealth, one here in Louisville, one up in northern Kentucky. Now the hearing is set for the Supreme Court docket this morning at 10 a.m.
All right, let's take a little bit of a turn here. Matt, coming over to you. What's one thing we need to know?
We continue to have this cool morning for us. Temperatures ranging in between the upper 50s and the lower 60s for our temperatures this morning. But later this afternoon, we are warming up into the upper 80s. It's going to be another round of sunny and dry conditions, and it's sticking around for a while. All the details about that forecast are coming up here in just a few short minutes.